My home country is Singapore, one of the world's smallest country, covering just 730 square kilometers. So I find it hard to imagine a country even smaller than Singapore. But today, more than 11,000 kilometers from home, I am entering Andorra, the world's 17th smallest country, with an area of only 468 square kilometers. Looking back, it is hard to believe. Towering mountains, deep valleys, and endless forests makes Andorra feel far bigger than it really is. Yet, this entire country is only 60% the size of Singapore. What is more remarkable is that despite of its tiny size, Andorra is one of Europe's wealthiest countries. Small in size, big in surprises. Have you heard of Andorra? While researching on how to get to Andorra by public transport, almost everything pointed to me towards Barcelona. Good morning from Toulouse. But the fact is that just a few days ago, I accidentally discovered that it is also possible to enter Andorra from Toulouse. And that unexpected discovery brought me to Toulouse yesterday. Early this morning, I made my way to the bus stop beside Toulouse main train station. I had already come here the evening before to scout the place, but I wasn't lucky enough to catch the bus schedule in action. So today, I returned early to look for the correct boarding platform. As I scanned around the station, I finally spotted. Surprisingly, it wasn't a large coach bus. Instead, it was a small minivan operated by Flixbus. The good thing is that this route isn't widely known, so the vehicle was relatively empty. I paid 39 euros directly to the driver, found my seat, and just like that, I am on my way south, heading towards the Spanish border and the tiny mountain nation of Andorra. After leaving Toulouse, the minivan made a brief stop at Toulouse International Airport, likely to pick up passengers arriving from one of the two nearest bus stops serving Andorra. Then we continue south. As the city slowly disappeared behind us, the landscape began to change. The minivan sped down the highway towards the Pyrenees, with the mountain range rising dramatically on my right. Even under the grey skies, the scenery feels increasingly wild and remote. Somewhere beyond those mountains is where Andorra is actually situated. A tiny country hidden deep within the Pyrenees Mountains. As we head deeper into the mountains, the minivan passed through a series of tunnels carved directly into the rock. The scenery outside is breathtaking. It looks exactly like something out of the Swiss Alps. Towering mountains, mist-covered forests, and winding roads disappear into the valleys. The minivan steadily climbed higher into the Pyrenees Mountains, the natural border separating France and Spain. And somewhere high within these mountains sit Andorra. As we approach the border, the immigration process turns out to be surprisingly smooth. Even though Andorra is not part of the European Union, the border checkpoint is mostly a drive-through procedure. There is no need for passengers to get off the vehicle. Within minutes, we are officially entering one of the smallest countries in the world. Once inside Andorra, and here comes one of the things Andorra is famous for: skiing. The first of the 5 S's I'll be covering in this video. Despite being one of Europe's smallest country, Andorra offers more than 300 kilometers of ski slope spread across 3 major ski areas. And right here is one of them. By the time I arrive, spring is already coming to an end, with summer just around the corner. Yet, patches of snows still linger on the ground. At Pas La Casa, one of Andorra's most famous ski resort areas, remnants of the winter season are still visible. I can only imagine how magical this place must look during the peak winter months. A true winter wonderland hidden high in the Pyrenees. As the minivan continues through tunnel after tunnel, each exit reveals a brand new scene. This time, ski slopes appear directly in front of us, cutting across the mountainside. And where there are ski slopes, an entire ecosystem follows. You've got the ski resorts, hotel, restaurants, rental space, holiday apartments, the entire mountain village built around the winter season. With more buildings appearing outside the window, I began to suspect that we are finally entering Andorra la Vella, the capital city of Andorra. Not long after, the minivan pulled into the terminal station. After 4 hours on the road and roughly 200 kilometers from Toulouse, I have finally arrived. I step out of the minivan and take a moment to absorb my surroundings. This is Andorra, country number 83. And now that I have finally arrived, it is time to see what this tiny mountain nation is really like. While still on the minivan, I booked a stay at Barri Antic Hostel, located right in the heart of Andorra la Vella Old Town. Surrounded by narrow cobblestone streets that feel more Swiss than Spanish, the hostel comes with a pub downstairs and a cozy atmosphere that immediately surprised me.
This is the key.
Okay.
30 floor.
For 40 euro, okay, the room is far better than I expected. Warm, comfortable, and well heated. And that warmth matters. For the first time on this trip, I have to pull out my winter jacket. The moment I step out of my hostel, I am greeted by something completely unexpected. Andorra New Parliament building standing right beside me. The square outside the parliament opens up towards the valley below, revealing a panoramic view of Andorra la Vella stretched out between the mountains. One of the most striking sights here is the 7 poets. 7 yellow human figures perched on tall steel poles, symbolizing the 7 parishes that make up Andorra. What fascinated me even more is how vertically built this city is. The parliament area and the old town where my hostel is located sit high above the valley floor. In Andorra la Vella, the mountains just don't surround the city. They shape the entire capital city itself. One of the charming spots in Andorra la Vella Old Town, Plaza Lidia Armengol Vila, which is surrounded by rugged cobblestone buildings that give the area a timeless mountain town character. Nearby, at Plaza de Pincep, Benlloch, the church may look ancient from the outside, but its interior feels surprisingly modern and well maintained. What stands out most to me isn't the architecture, but the atmosphere. As soft choir music echoed through the church, the entire space felt calm, peaceful, and serene. The old historical center of Andorra la Vella isn't very large. After a few turns through the cobblestone alley, I quickly find myself entering the city main shopping district. And this brings me to the second S of Andorra: shopping. Despite its tiny size, hundreds of shops are packed into a surprisingly small area. Thanks to Andorra's low tax and duty-free status, visitors come here for cheaper luxury goods, electronics, perfume, alcohol, and even tobacco. Even the restaurants feel more affordable compared to France, with prices noticeably lower than what I experienced in Paris. What I enjoy most is the atmosphere. Surrounded by mountains, ski shops, and modern retail buildings, the city feels like one giant ski resort town. Relaxed, cheerful, and built around leisure. And interestingly, I spot quite a number of Chinese visitors around town. Fun fact, Andorra has a population of 80,000, but there are 20 million of registered users on Chinese WeChat. It is social media memes and therefore attract many Chinese to come to this city, including myself. A must-visit landmark in Andorra la Vella is La Noblesse du Temps, a massive bronze sculpture by the legendary surrealist artist Salvador Dali. Standing proudly at Plaza de la Rotonda, this 5-meter tall artwork features Dali's iconic melting clock draped over a tree trunk and crowned at the top. It is a symbol of time and its unstoppable passage. Another spot you really shouldn't skip is the Pont de París in Andorra la Vella. This modern avant-garde bridge sits right in the city center and adds a surprising contrast to the surrounding mountain town vibe. It is not just a crossing point, it is designed as a photo-friendly landmark. The La Valira River runs straight through the heart of Andorra la Vella, splitting the capital into two sides and flowing south towards Spain. It carries fresh mountain water down from the Pyrenees, creating a constant rushing sound that is surprisingly soothing in the middle of the city. Along the riverside walkway, that natural white noise blends with the urban traffic, almost cancelling out and giving the area a calm, therapeutic atmosphere. It is one of those simple city experiences where you can just walk beside the water, watch it surge downhill, and feel the whole place slows down, even in the middle of the capital. At the end of Andorra la Vella, you will find the famous third S of Andorra, Spa. And the star of it is the iconic Caldea Spa. It is the largest thermal spa complex in southern Europe, instantly recognizable by its futuristic spaceship-like glass architecture rising above the city. Inside, it is all about natural hot spring waters, indoor and outdoor pools, jacuzzi, sauna, and relaxation zone. Those water at the outdoor pool look so tempting. El Fania is a shopping area on the quieter side of La Vira River. Compared to the high-end central zone, it feels more everyday and accessible, with a mix of malls, retail space, and practical shopping rather than the ultra-luxury brands. Nevertheless, it is still part of the wider retail network that makes the city feels like a shopping hub. Overall, Andorra is basically a shopping paradise, with different districts catering to different budgets and styles. Andorra la Vella Central Valley along the river feels very busy but well organized for traffic-heavy tourism. This city is lined with large multi-story and open-air car parks, built to handle the constant flow of visitors coming from France and Spain, especially on weekends. Because most people arrive by car, parking infrastructure is a core part of the city design. The central park I walked through is the Parc Central in Andorra la Vella, a green buffer zone right in the middle of the capital. It sits between the shopping streets, parking area, and the river corridor, creating a calm transition space away from the traffic. Suddenly, I'm dropped into a landscape park with cherry blossom in bloom during springtime, and open lawns and walking paths framed by mountain views. It is thus one of the best spots in the city to slow down and to breathe in the crisp Pyrenees air, look up at the surrounding peaks, and enjoy the rare mix of urban park life with a full mountain backdrop. The fourth S of Andorra, summer mountain hiking, is all about how easy you can reach nature even from the capital. Even with limited time of less than 24 hours, I am able to do a short hike to Mirando La Comilla, and that offers a quick escape above the Andorra la Vella, with steps, fresh mountain air, flowers, and wide view of the city and the Pyrenees. It is a solid workout and a taste of the region hiking culture. Even though the deeper trails further into the mountains are far rewarding if you have more time, Andorra la Vella feels like a surprisingly art-filled, well-designed city, not just a shopping hub. There are public sculptures, installation, and green space are all scattered throughout the urban core, especially areas like the Parc Central and the river corridor. When I'm out and about in a new place, I tend to pack a lot of activities and will put meal at my lowest priority. Before heading back to my hostel, I drop by a local supermarket and grab pastries on the go.
And tarts.
I am not sure if that looked miserable for viewers watching this YouTube. I do not personally think so, as I started walking back to my hostel. This is my dinner, and then head straight back to bed. The good thing is, it starts to pour heavily once I'm back in the hostel, and it rained the whole night. Good morning from Andorra the View. And just like that, I leave Andorra. With my backpack packed and one last look at the valley, I make my way from the hostel to the bus station.
Okay, just check out.
I really wish I have one more day here, but I need to continue my journey north into Europe. And as much as I enjoy Andorra, it feels unlikely that I will come all the way back to this part of the world again. So there is this slight bittersweet feeling as I walk through the capital one last time. I bought the first bus out of Andorra la Vella heading back to Toulouse. Finally, the fifth S of Andorra, snow, arrived in the most unexpected way. As I leave the country, I get off the bus at the customs stop for immigration clearance. Right there, outside the cold air, it starts to snow. My first snowfall of this year. I even make a quiet wish, just to touch the snow once. It feels like a total impossible mission while the bus continues down the mountain towards the plains. This is the best way to end off the Andorra video. And let me do my closing here. Thanks for watching today's video. Please drop a like and a comment. And if you are new here, please subscribe so that it can bring me to the next subscription milestone of 10,000. But then, something small and almost unbelievable happens. A passenger on the bus suddenly stopped the bus for an emergency toilet break. I reach out my hand out of the bus, and for that fleeting second, I managed to feel a few falling snowflakes on my skin. Just 1 second,